Welcome to the Didi and Lital Show. Advice, thoughts, and stories from a married couple on cybersecurity, technology, and life in general. Now here are your hosts, Didi and Lital.
Hello and welcome to the Didi and Lital Show. It's, I think, officially winter.
It was officially winter last time, but yes.
No, now it's like sub-zero. Sub-zero
Yes.
centigrade. Almost like in the teens. Oh my God, so cold this morning. We have a guest today.
Yes, we have a guest today.
Sharon.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank
Should
you
we
for
call you
having me.
Sharon? Should we like...
Sharon is good.
Sharon is good. Yeah. You told me that when you give your name at the Starbucks, they're looking for the nice looking Sharon.
Yeah. If someone comes looking for me, it's always a Sharon. And when I say Sharon, I can see the look in the eye, and they're thinking it's Jerome, right? So I got used to it.
So you're like
Yeah.
Jeroming it.
Are you not doing the Starbucks name? Because Lital is Lee. You can do Sean.
Sean works too.
I was
Sean-
actually considering it for a while to change it when I came to the US in 2000, but after a while, this is my name.
No need to change.
We're okay with your name.
That's the Starbucks.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So they're like
their
who is
own-
the bald dude?
Well, if you want to get into it, so the early stages in the U.S., I used to be invited to perform pap smears and things by Mount Auburn Hospital. So I used to.
You like your pop smears.
I literally had to go to the offices and change my gender, so they see that I'm not a female.
Yes.
But I still get invited to women in tech and
I get invited to women in tech as
Yeah,
well.
you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're Didi.
Didi.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Well, it became now okay, and you can just be non-binary or whatever.
Yeah, well, I'm cis.
A woman-
I guess I'm cis, whatever you...
You're very cis.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just a regular guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we go by we're so normies here. Sachi. Like,
Sachi, yeah.
we're very Sachi.
We don't want to out Sharon if he's not.
I don't know if Sharon is, but we are.
We are.
We are like the only family that never uses weed.
Yes.
Never.
In the
Nobody.
whole of New England.
Like we are Sachis. How you say Sachi in English?
I don't think they
I
have
don't think
that.
they have... No, there's no word.
There is
for
no
it,
word.
no.
Like
Yeah.
sober, but
Yeah.
it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are the sober... we don't... We are...
Stand up person.
And since
so we
the
are
Garmin, we
cis
also don't drink
Sachi.
because it ruins the REM sleep.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I cannot ruin my REM sleep. You need to have 4 cycles of REM sleep a night.
Yeah.
And if you drink even 1 sip of wine, it takes at least 1 out of the 4.
That's... Yeah.
It
And
fucks up the entire thing.
So no alcohol. That's an interesting concept.
Sachi.
Should try it. So.
it completely ruined my Thanksgiving, but yes.
So, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Great to have you. Great friend from the Newton area. And now having a startup of your own.
Yes.
Maybe give us the story. What brought you to be in Eve Security?
And
Sure.
what brought you to New England? Because it's nice, warm weather.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe starting with New England, right? I moved here in 2000 with a company that was called Enigma, and it was then acquired by PTC many years later. And then started my corporate journey through Mercury to HP. Many years at HP Software, and then Microsoft. And from there, moved to cyber. So I was a part of Aqua Security. I was the chief customer officer.
They were ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cloud security, the first ones to... they were
Correct.
really good.
Correct. Yes. Earlier this year, I left Aqua and I started looking for what's next. And I was lucky enough to meet my other 2 founders. Coincidence. And we met and we decided that we want to do something that is within the agentic AI realm.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because that's the hottest thing
Exactly.
in startup world.
Yeah, so we just started meeting with CIOs and CISOs to see where's the problem and what problem we want to try to solve, and it was very fast that we narrowed down on the need of CISOs to secure the use of agentic AI. So we decided to focus on that. the tools that they have today, and they have everything. They don't give them any visibility or proper visibility, and they give them no control. So they're finding themselves in a tough spot. So we decided this is the area we'll focus. And lucky enough, I have great co-founders that we started together the company, Nadav and Amit, and we're running forward. It's amazing how much progress you can make in less than 1 year.
Yeah. When you say securing agentic, there's a whole bunch of people securing agentic. There's people putting proxies. There's people putting firewalls. There are people putting guardrails. There's people doing this. When you say securing agentic,
identity side of things, we talked about that.
Yeah. So
say a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah. It's definitely.
What do you do around here? That's the.
It's a blooming and booming area for sure.
Yeah.
So we're focusing on we can call it maybe runtime of AI agents. So it's not yet a category, right? Everything is trying to fall under some AI trism or maybe subcategories of.
Gartner will wake up 5 years from now and call it some name with 4 letters or 3 letters. But until then,
I'm sure. Yeah. So we're looking at the area that we are concerned about. So we're not on the left. We're not in the development or creating guardrails while you produce the agents. We're making we're looking at the landscape and saying, okay, all companies are going to have agents. There'll be third-party agents. There'll be first-party. They'll develop their own agents. And these agents are actually talking to their systems of record where they hold, the most precious information. And these agents are now, they're making decisions and they're acting. So it's no longer a question and answer to a model. It's a sequence that is happening. You can open a ticket, close a ticket. You can delete a database. You can send information to people. There's so many things that you can do, and they're not controlled today. They're not visible and they're not controlled, and that has to stop, right? Because all companies that are doing it are finding themselves in a situation where they are at risk. So it's no longer just the external risk from bad actors. It is unintentional risk that can happen because you have these hundreds or thousands of agents that are operating, kind of emulating maybe employees, but not just, right? A process that can cause you harm. So that's where we're focusing. So we're providing visibility and we're providing full control. And I can go into details.
We'll talk about it in a minute. I think that's super interesting and really an important need because this is like where the core now of agent is to improve productivity, right? To emulate human beings, accelerate what human beings are doing, or maybe make all the processes better. So I think everybody is excited about that. And I remember when we talked, you gave me some good examples about some processes that were designed for human beings doing it, and human beings have the limitations, so that is fine. But once you let the machine go wild, the machine can do wild things that you didn't kind of plan for it. So give us those examples so people can have a feel of what is possible now with the agents, what's happening when you put agents in, and then we'll talk
about the YU versus the
we'll talk
companies.
about how you solve the problem. But let's dive into some examples.
Sure. So the agents and the model and the agent, they're trying to fulfill the mission that they are asked to do. So they're really trying to satisfy you. So for example, during some of our testings, we found that let's say there's a HIPAA regulation where you're not supposed to show more than one piece of a record, more than one record at a time. So we blocked the agent from doing it when it was asking for multiple records. So the agent is smart, so it basically broke down the request to multiple requests, right? So it's just trying to do what it's supposed to do.
So it's just brute forced, and exactly. You didn't let it.
No bad actor, nothing, right? But suddenly, you revealed information of multiple patients, as an example.
Yeah.
Problem. Right?
Okay.
So that's one example. The other ones are very very easily when I show demos, I'm managing to convince an agent to give me more than they're supposed to give me because there's a level of urgency that I manage to convince the agent that is happening. So, for example, in our healthcare demonstration, at some point I tell it, listen, the doctor urgently needs it. It's important for life. And then suddenly it agrees to do things that it did not agree to do before. So these things are happening, right? So how do you govern it if you can't control it?
That's
Yeah.
And isn't there expectations that the models will be built already with its guardrails, or no way it's going to come with the agents themselves?
So we believe the models will constantly get better and better. So that's why we're not focusing actually on the model security layer.
Okay.
They're working on it constantly, and they're making it better and better. But the agent activity is where we focus on, right? And that's it. That's dynamic. That sometimes is unpredictable. Models change. You can actually have an agent use different models.
Right.
So we are looking at it as an agnostic security provider. We want to make sure that whatever model you use, whatever agent you use, whatever framework you're using, we're providing the security layer on top of it. We're not an MCP. We're not an MCP provider. We want to explain what MCP is. But MCP is the way that agents can communicate with each others and with systems. And it kind of provides the agent a list of all the tools and capabilities that it can leverage in order to perform an activity. We're trying not to do, we're not that.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that you can choose whatever you want, will be the security layer on top of it. Agents can also use an API to communicate. So we're controlling that.
What are you seeing more, MCP or APIs? I'm asking for a friend.
I think for now we see more APIs still. MCPs will become more used, right? But agents, they choose by themselves, for example, to communicate with an MCP or to communicate with an API. So if you're an MCP provider, then what happens when an agent decides to use an API to talk to the target destination? And
I know a proxy company. It pays my bills.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yes, a big one.
A big one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, very big. So that's the focus area. We look at intent also when we interrogate for intent.
Yep.
So there's a whole policy engine that we have, language-based policy that then is translated to to the relevant components, computerized components. But we can learn on intent, and we can interrogate the agent to see why the agent is asking for this. Why is it asking to do something different than it did before? A lot of companies are worried about an anomaly, right? Let's say HR agent has been used for the past few months, and it was giving 2-3 employees at a time information, and suddenly there's a request coming. Maybe the request is coming from HR China. Why is that? Or maybe the request is, give me all the employees' information. Okay, that's a bit tricky, right?
Yep.
So, we should probably stop that.
Yep.
So we're looking, you have to look at the context of the discussion and analyze the discussion and the actions that it's trying to do in order to be able to protect it.
So let's talk for a minute about how you do and kind of like what's unique. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So again, we're not becoming the platform of everything. I came from that. I don't want to do that anymore. We are very, very focused on the runtime of agents.
Okay.
We are covering every format that is out there.
Are you agnostic to all type of agents? Something specific?
No, we're agnostic. So
Okay.
Customers will have agents from Salesforce, from NetSuite, from Git, right? And
Anthropic stuff
Yes.
they built.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you have these gateways that are already perfect. Like you have Kong, you have Envoy. I don't want to create our own gateway and now compete with something that is out there. I'm going to provide a solution that is connected to everything that the customer already invested in, and make sure that they can use it in a secured manner.
So let me ask you for a second.
Sure.
You're connecting both to the agent and to the source of truth, or just to the agent?
We sit between the agent and the source of truth.
Okay.
Okay. So whether it's an API gateway, we are basically plugging into it.
Yeah.
And then we control the communication, and we look at what's the ask, and then what's the answer, and or we stop it at the ask already because it's not a legitimate ask, or it's
So you're basically monitoring all the agent activity, the prompts.
Correct.
It's running.
Correct. And obviously above that, there's the observability, because that by itself is a problem today for us. So we connect to the existing systems. We connect to EDRs, firewalls. Obviously to the gateways themselves. Anything that a customer has, the more systems we connect, the better and more rich the information that we can present from an observability perspective. Obviously, we catch shadow AI. People are spinning off capabilities, agentic capabilities on their machines. They don't even know that they just did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course.
How much shadow AI are you seeing?
We see. It's interesting. Some of the CISOs we talk to think that they don't yet have a problem. They know that they're using Cursor or Windsurf in their environment. So, for example, someone said, we used to use Cursor, and now we moved everyone to Windsurf. And then when you connect, even you just connect to the EDR, you immediately see that people are using Cursor also, right? And that's a problem, right? Is it an authorization problem, or is it really that are they using their own licenses, or are they using
their own licenses?
Exactly. So
they use their corporate credit cards to.
So you have to quash this, right? Because people are losing IP. Companies are basically handing over IP to the wrong destination. So, and that's a problem. So easy,
On the other hand, what do you do? I'll give you my personal little example. We have a million things that we allow for ChatGPT and this, but we haven't allowed Gemini. But I use Gemini for every personal search I use. So if I want to see what the Bruins games are and what are my next flights.
You have it on your browser.
Yes. Yeah. And even I have it in a separate profile, but we have this firewall thing. Every call to Gemini gets blocked, and I get this nice warning. How do companies deal with this? Because people do use their personal computers for personal work, and right now agents are in everybody's personal life. Yeah. Are you dealing with that at all? Not dealing with this? Don't care?
That's a good question. We're not a plugin to the browser.
Yep.
So we're not dealing with that specifically. We really are focusing on the agentic activity with systems of record, right? So that's. If you look at the CISO's life and you think, okay, the CISO has to manage the risk, so where should we focus first? And you need to focus first on how do you reduce the amount of risk the CISO is experiencing with interaction with systems of record. So we also, it could be an agent that is ordering sandwiches from Grubhub, right?
Yep.
Legit.
Okay, not a big risk for us.
Unless it sends Grubhub the entire list of your customers.
And it can,
of course. It can grab it, but then you sit on the system of record on Salesforce and probably should be monitoring that this is not happening.
So that's where we sit. We sit in between the agent and Salesforce, or agent force.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Other specific industries you see more of like interest, people are ahead of the curve or feel the pain that's bigger?
Yeah. So we constantly look at who our ICP is.
Of course.
So
ICP, ideal customer profiles. For those of you, we had a few, I think, episodes just about how to find your ICP. But that's the holy grail for a startup, right? You don't want to sell to everyone, because then you need to build 10 different products.
Right.
You want it broad enough, but actually focused enough as well.
And you want to find customers that can afford to pay.
Of course.
Yes. So now you're singing my song.
Yeah,
exactly. Budget and pain, both things.
So we believe, right, and we need to constantly check ourselves against that assumption that it's mid-market to enterprise customers that are adopting agentic activity fast inside the organization, and majority of them probably would be from healthcare, from finance, so financial institutions. Anyone that has a regulation that they need to comply with is a good target customer. On the other hand, we're finding that because the ability of companies to innovate so fast with agentic capabilities and dramatically optimize their processes and reduce time in things that they are doing and that they used to do manually before, even half automated, we're finding that some of those, let's say, smaller companies or more tech-oriented companies are rapidly progressing. So, obviously, SaaS providers are rapidly progressing. There are companies that, let's say, in the automotive industry that are automating processes, or they have to deal with dealerships, and so it can come from many directions, and we'll have to constantly evaluate if our ICP is the right ICP, or maybe it's a slower ICP. Maybe we should focus on other companies. So we're investigating all that. I can't say that I'm 100% confident that an ICP is the right ICP.
Right.
Until I see like dramatic, progress within that vertical.
Lital, by the way, I think when we started talking to Sharon, we forgot the key question. You're a founder, but what kind of founder are you? Are you the technical founder?
Yeah.
Are you the sales founder? Are you the marketing founder? Are you?
So we are three founders. Nadav is the CEO. He's a second-time founder. He has a lot of experience from a product perspective, security and gaming industry and hospitality. Amit is our technical founder. So he's the guru on the technology. And I'm the rest, right? So basically, I'm the go-to market. So I'm the CRO. That's the experience I bring to the table. My career has been interacting with customers, all of it. After being a lawyer like a producer Dave, early stage in my life, yeah.
You moved on, and
I moved on, yeah. So I'm. You didn't ask, by the way, why Eve?
Why Eve?
Oh, there you go. That's a good question.
That's a very good question.
Chava?
Yeah.
Chava.
It's Chava. So Eve. So when Eve took a bite from the apple, she unlocked all the wisdom and capabilities, and really that's what we're trying to do for organizations.
Opening the eyes to your customers,
and
to the world of badness.
Exactly. And then we were looking for a name that is catchy, short, and feminine.
Okay.
And
Feminine.
Yes, we wanted to. Yeah, we did.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Did you
Branding.
have a problem with the domain name under like a million other Eves?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
We did. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
But
So the domain name is like Eve
Security, of course.
It's eve.security.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think it's a wonderful choice.
Okay.
It's awesome. So the ICP point is really interesting, because I think as this whole market will adapt, there will be like some that probably will go very deep on a verticalized, because I could see full kind of solution for HIPAAs, solutions for just GDPR, and like by regulation, you can go deep, or you can go broad and cover all regulations, or cover all so many bad use cases. But at the same time, you're learning, you are agentic, I assume, by yourself, LLM based and stuff. So tell me a little bit about depth versus, breadth, and how you're thinking about that.
So that's a good question. I think it's early for me to answer it.
Of course, because you're still exploring it as a company.
So I just did an analysis and comparison of regulations out there to see. So let's say which regulation has the most requirements versus what would be the redundancy between regulations, and it kind of reminded me the iPhone charger versus at the end, they're all trying to do the right thing, with some flavor, that is a bit different maybe for their industry or domain, but but they're trying to do the right things and more or less the similar things. So, for example, I was looking at the Finos Foundation, which is the open source for financial institutions. They have a regulation or recommended regulation for agentic AI activity, and I found that one had probably covered everything else or almost everything else that the other regulations needed. So if you look at it that way, it's basically about capabilities and controls.
Yep.
So I think you can provide a capability and a control to healthcare that is quite similar to the one that you provide to finance, and then both are covered. I think we will have to see then, based on that, how things are progressing, because it's for us it's very simple to apply a policy, right, and embed in the policy everything that, let's say, HIPAA requires from a healthcare company, and make sure that the policy is assuring that. At the same time, we can apply, the Finos one or a OWASP or a NIST. They all try to do the right thing. I guess it's just different organizations that have the life of their own.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking, by the way, of adoption, where do you see more adoption? Because you mentioned that the tech-savvy companies. What I'm seeing is that the older, the more process-oriented the company is, we're seeing a higher level of success with the adoption versus
he said, automotive and manufacturing.
Yeah, we're seeing this the same. The more structured the company is, the more success they having with deploying agent, because the agent basically comes in and replaces a person that does the Charlie Chaplin thing.
Yeah.
It replaces the guy that just does this.
Yeah.
You have a lot more of the person that just does that.
And those are organizations that are built on processes. So for them to tune it into, instead of human beings or like regular machines doing the process, now it's agentic.
On the other hand, Cisco sells primarily to the process-oriented, manufacturing-oriented rich. So we're seeing maybe, so I want to get from Sharon's perspective, is he seeing something different? Is he seeing something else? Especially with the success aspect, who you're seeing succeeding with their agent deployments, or nobody?
I think all of them are seeing amazing strides with agentic activity. I see that in let's call it old school areas. Look at healthcare for a second. It's so manual. There's so much time wasted by doctors and nurses on paperwork, for example.
Yeah.
So, there's a ton of automation that is happening with agents right now in that area to allow to alleviate that time crunch from them, and then they can focus on their real job instead of doing paperwork.
They're the happiest users of AI, I think.
Also,
yes.
they have a very high error rate. As somebody that worked with nurses' records, the error rate right now with the manual process is so high that it's okay that the agent makes a couple of mistakes. The person does a whole bunch of other mistakes as well.
That is true too. That is true too. So you look at industries that they have a lot of paper trail. It could be in the banking industry. It could be in the healthcare industry.
Insurance.
There's, shipments, insurance, bonding, all kinds of areas that suddenly you can take a process that used to take a few weeks. Maybe it needs translations, OCRs, things like that, and it becomes immediate. So it's mind-boggling to see the changes that can happen. So I see it in traditional industries, but I also see it in small to medium companies are running fast, very, very fast, because they know that they can leapfrog some of the other competition by doing things correct. So it's impressive to see what's happening there, and none of it is secured. So it's a perfect place to operate.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, small, medium businesses, I mean, maybe not your market anyhow, but even moms and pop shops, if you think about it, if they just change a few of the back-end processes to run on agentic, huge boom for the profitability.
Absolutely.
It changes the profitability model of a mom and pop shop once you use that.
Also, it works with the thing I like the most. I like the boring shit. Everybody talks about threat hunting. don't like threat hunting. I like compliance. The boring people, they have money.
Yeah.
They
You have to do it.
You have to
Basically,
do it, exactly.
bad stuff will happen to your business if
Exactly.
you don't comply. I mean,
Threat doesn't have budget. Compliance is owned by legal. Legal
for
has
threats,
money.
You have cyber insurance, you know,
Yeah.
for the one ransomware that happens once in a blue moon,
Absolutely.
which is bad, but yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
What else you need to tell us that we need to know about?
And what's happening in the next 6 months?
Oh, so it's first, it's exciting, right? To be a founder, you find yourself doing things that you never had to do before. So I used to run sales in HP software many years ago.
You had how many sales rep
Exactly.
under you?
Yeah, there was an entourage, right? So suddenly, you're a jack of all trades.
All by yourself with no budget.
You consult with people, you get advice, you write your own marketing material, you realize that
The AI writes your marketing material.
well, AI is a big help, big
Thank
help.
goodness.
Yeah, but you have to be
Yes.
careful, right? It's
The long dash
yeah,
is annoying.
yeah, the M dash and
M
the,
dash.
the line separators but you have to be careful also from there's a lot of there's still a lot of kind of assumptions and injections of information that may not be correct. So you have to check everything at least.
That's your lawyer side. My
yeah.
engineering side says, yeah, who
It's good
cares?
enough.
Exactly.
It's bullshit anyhow. It's
nobody
marketing.
reads after the
Yeah.
third sentence.
No, so for us it's super important, right? We can't put out things that are not 100% vetted and we believe in them.
Because that's your brand. You're
Exactly,
supposed to
yeah.
put guardrails on the agents.
Exactly, right? So you can't just count on it to happen. So we're very we're trying to be very, very focused and particular about that. So you're doing everything, right? As I'm doing marketing. I'm marketing ops. I'm a sales ops. I'm an outreach engine.
You're the Salesforce admin.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're doing everything.
Web admin.
Yeah, which is actually rejuvenating and fantastic after so many years of doing things that I know very well how to do, and it opens your mind, right? So I'm excited about it. And then the other thing, I was in the CNAPP area, Cloud Native Application Protection, and that area became a bloodbath. So I was so happy to come now to a domain that there's a absolute need and a desire, right? I see when we talk to CISOs, they're all interested now in what to do with securing their AI. So it's an area that if you think about the wave, right? The
hype.
Yeah, the hype. The wave is here, right?
Yeah.
So if 2025 started with kind of test driving agentic AI, everyone is now budgeting for 26
Yes.
for a solution
Yes.
to secure their AI agents because they know it's there. And if it's not there, they know something's coming, so they have to be prepared for it. So the 26 is the year for agentic AI.
I 100% agree. I think 2025 was the year of getting discretionary funds for all kinds of pilots. When, CIO, CISOs, in every area of the business, like COO, everyone got get your little pilot fund, take $2 million here and then go try stuff. I think this is done. Some of those pilots, like we read, a lot of them failed miserably because if I think the main learning was if you don't apply those agentic pilots into an already established business process that you understand what's going on and you actually have measurable ROI for the project, it's going to fail. Because you shouldn't do things that are not making sense for your business and just invent stuff. Because it just makes you, go into silos that nobody needs.
Well,
But
I saw different things, by the way. The thing I saw,
Right.
number one reason to fail, inability to connect to Entra or Okta. Number one reason to fail,
Okay.
inability
so
to
you
connect
don't
to...
even deploy. That's from
exactly.
the get-go. You don't deploy. Yeah, but
That's a big
True.
fear, actually. That's so we integrate with NHIs and with Okta, right? With human identity, and it is crucial to have that because one of the problem of authority and identity is big, and you have to be careful. You have to be careful that a request from an AI agent doesn't inherit capabilities that let's say VP of finance has versus an analyst, right? For data access. So that's crucial to have that.
Oh, your IT admin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
With super admin capabilities, agent can
That's
do,
actually
basically.
really interesting because right now when I'm using Codex, one of the things that I try to do is limit what the scopes are, and because it access GitHub and it says, oh, give me all the scopes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just to close my previous comment, I think that 2026, all this thing of pilot budgets and stuff is gone away. And basically, people have the budgets for what they need. If there is budget for, let's implement AI, part of it will go into let's secure it.
Yeah.
Let's, have compliance. If the compliance department may have budget for compliance project in making sure AI is compliant as part of everything else.
Yeah.
So I think this is the year when it shifts to be just basically mainstream and part of everybody's day-to-day projects. It's like you're saying, seeing up the cloud. Like we remember those days that you were like, okay, I'll need specific things. And now it's just basically part of cloud security is basically part of the security budget. It's not something separate that we just make it part of life.
Yeah.
If you need to focus on one of the areas, would you focus on observability more or focus on prevention more?
That's an excellent question. So we believe that
with the Eve thing, it came from the Eve and the knowledge.
Exactly. So in Eve we provide observability and control. I think the first problem of the CISOs right now is observability, because they really don't know what's going on, and that's a problem. But once then there's a level of observability, right? So you can see which agents talk to which systems. But then you can also see what is it doing with those systems. So you can alert on it, right? And then it's a detect and response capability, and we do that. But then there's the layer of really controlling it, which we also provide, and that's crucial for anyone that wants to avoid problems. This is that layer of. It's this giant problem that just landed in the CISO's lap, that we moved from a very deterministic world to a completely non-deterministic world where the agent decides, thinks, does whatever it wants, and it's all in plain English. So I can ask you, give me this employee's information, and you give me name and family name. And then I ask it the same question tomorrow, and you also give me the social security number, and I'm not supposed to see it, right? So here's a violation right there. Easy.
Yep.
No bad actor, nothing. Just happened.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So you're starting with this point of, I will just show the CISO that there is a violation. I'm sure next will come how can I stop it from happening?
Yeah, so our first customers, we started with the observability, and immediately they said they want us to block, for example, DeepSeek across the organization, and they want us to block profanities, and they want us to block all write activities into GitHub unless you're specific level or group from Okta. And I come from a
the profanity thing is fascinating.
Yeah,
that's somebody that's
a shell.
No, it's on anybody's list on something I would like to pay.
Yeah.
Because I profane all the time.
You'll be blocked if you're an agent.
Yeah, you have to be careful. Yeah, specifically with the agents that speak outwards, right? The chat bots.
Oh yeah, you don't want a customer-facing one that is
exactly
going rogue and starting the profanity. Yeah, that's funny.
We'll just give it an Israeli accent.
The zone.
The zone.
Yeah. So 6 months from now, where are you heading?
So we at Eve, we're going to be. Our plan is to be the one of the major players in making sure that AI agents in production are secure, right? So call it runtime agentic AI security. This is what Eve is about, and that's our focus. That's where we put all of our efforts. We just finished. Also, we're protecting a custom GPTs now in OpenAI,
Yep.
right? So they don't use MCP servers. They're just there, right? And Google just came out with their capabilities, so we're on that too. All these agentic activities are going to need to have someone monitoring them and controlling them. And that's what Eve is here to do. That's what we'll do.
Cool.
Yeah. And the amazing thing is, how fast you have a product. Our team has developed an amazing product in such a short time frame. I'm just in awe seeing, the capabilities that we roll out.
It's not the speed of HP.
No, it's not. No.
Which of the platforms did you marry or did you not? Google, Microsoft, or Amazon?
So we support all three.
Yeah.
As a start, like everyone, we went with the AWS capabilities, but
You'll be surprised. In the agent space, we've seen a lot people like Lital's company that marry Microsoft.
Full Microsoft shop.
Yeah. No, and I come from Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
But Google just leapfrogged with dramatic capabilities.
Yes.
So we're super
everybody
excited.
is amazed by that.
Yeah. We're excited about that.
And they give you a lot of money for free if you're a startup.
Okay, that's
all,
good.
all the three are doing that.
No. Google right now decided that they really want to own this space.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's
Good for them.
It's interesting for you to ask the VCs, can you get the credits?
Yeah. Okay. That's thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Anything else? So we wrap it for today.
I'm excited about your podcast because I listen. I'm an avid listener.
Yay.
And I find it it's an interesting mix of a New England reality. With some sports and music and then cyber, so it's perfect.
We skipped the sports part because Lital drove right into the business, and this is actually, Dave, this is a very important week in sports.
Yeah, I'd be hard pressed to find another recent moment in New England sports history that is more exciting.
What
Yes.
happened this
Come on.
week?
So first of all, we beat
Shuri and I have no idea.
First we beat the Giants and we thumped them. It's not a beating; it was a beat down.
I was there with my son.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
Yeah, it was cold. It was fun, and you could hear Jackson Dart getting hit into the 300 section of the stadium.
Yes. So there's a guy called Christian Alice, and the Giants quarterback likes to run. He didn't run after he got hit. He got hit so hard that he flew, as Dave said, he flew all the way on the news guys.
He took flight, and it sent a nice message.
It sent a very nice message. And
Is
the
he okay?
Yes.
Oh, he
well,
claims,
he's
that's the way I play.
Well, he's stupid. He has a very hot mom, and he's very stupid. He has a very hot mom. Jackson Dart's mom. You should Google the two young quarterbacks that have the hottest moms is Zach Wilson and Jackson Dart have insanely hot moms.
Okay, good to know.
Don't forget
we're gonna Google.
They're your age. Those moms are probably younger than you. Because these guys are like 2 years, 3 years older than Ron.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yes.
It's a sport for the young.
It's a sport for the young. Yes.
Yeah.
We don't see the hit. By the way, yesterday,
Yes.
boom.
What's the lifespan on these players?
There's the guy called Tom Brady.
Yeah, well, he's
Lital's age.
He's the outlier.
yeah, he's the outlier.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think it's like 3.5 years is the average NFL career.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
they
By
do.
that
They're
time,
in
they get-
car accidents every Sunday.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing that they were talking about.
The brain is
Drake
right.
May you can see Patrick Mahomes already being a running quarterback. You can see that he's slowing down because the hits start to take its toll.
Yeah, it's tough.
But surprisingly, hockey players that play 82 games versus 16.
They don't have a lot going in their brains to begin with, so
true too.
Yes, I was at the game yesterday.
the Bruins game.
The Bruins game.
Nice.
Bruins.
That was a massive thumping, and that's
We won?
Yeah, we won, and this was an important win because Claude Julien is on the Blues bench, and Monty.
Yeah.
And Monty came in and said, "Yeah, I really liked living in Winchester, but I didn't like being here so much." It was very funny to see. So he got a nice little thumping, and also it's also nice. So for those of you that don't care,
Yeah.
there's the part that's called the Winter Olympics,
Yeah.
and
It's coming up.
It's coming up.
The
and-
curling thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, with the brooms. Yeah.
yes, but the thing that is
They also
the
have
highlight.
hockey in
Exactly,
Winter
the highlight
Olympics.
is that the NHL players are going to play this year.
Ah, nice.
Yes,
Where is it?
it's in Milan.
It's in Milan.
It's in Milan, and
They're gonna have snow.
oh yes,
Really?
yes,
Okay.
yes,
When
Eh,
is it?
February,
Okay.
and
We're gonna be in Switzerland, not
We're-
Switzerland, in France.
And we're gonna be in
Swiss-
France.
in the French Alps.
yes, everybody's going to notice this. Well, we're going to be there. Everybody's going to notice the and Team Canada right now. The guy that got 5 goals hung on him yesterday and got 5 goals the day before. He's the goalie of Team Canada, Jordan Biddington.
Okay.
So
The
Team
winning
USA.
the winning streak started when Lital went to the game.
Yes.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
they're
I
giving you
kind of
credit.
helped them.
Yes.
Yes. Alrighty. Well,
Alrighty.
we ended up today with,
sports. Well, a little bit of sports to give Sharon an update, a little bit of.
so he knows what he's missing, not
Exactly.
following sports. That's
Yes.
awesome. Well, Sharon, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
The Didi and Lital Show is a weekly podcast. Please rate and review us wherever you're getting your podcast. Share with friends and check Eve Security, eve.security.
Thank you.
Reach out to Sharon Eilon. We'll put his LinkedIn in case you want to learn more about Eve Security.
And I'll let Notebook LM summarize this and post on it.
Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Awesome.